welcome back, everybody. You're listening to the Grow Podcast. As always, I'm the host, Nolan Fast, and we've got Sam back with us again today. And today we have Reid Pretzer, who is an agronomy intern down in Odell, whose family grows corn and soybeans, but you also raise shrimp. So we're going to cover that, but first I want to ask you real quick, how are you liking your internship so far?
I like it a lot. I really enjoy it so far.
So what is like a day, what does a day look like for you?
So one of my favorite things is going in every day. I really don't know exactly what I'm going to be doing. It kind of varies. With spray season winding down, it's not as much getting chemicals ready, loading tenor trucks, stuff like that. We've been going out looking at fields, looking at spraying fungicides, and the grain side too, loading trucks, stuff like that.
You feel like you're learning something?
Yeah, a lot. Mm-hmm.
So how much time do you have left?
About 2 weeks left.
2 weeks?
Yep.
And you started when? When did you guys start?
What was it? 18th? What was it?
Well, I know we're asking the real questions today.
Yeah. Well, that's all right. Was it like an 8-10 week internship or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's about a dozen of you, aren't there?
Yes. Yep.
In every department, like a couple of you in each department?
Yeah.
I think there's one at each location. Well, Frankfurt has a couple, and then some other locations have a couple, but yeah.
Yeah, I think they try and do a broad variety of internships for departments, so it's not just like agronomy interns. There's also other interns.
How did you hear about the internship?
So actually, Taylor Collins. I am a part of AGS here at the university, and he's an alumni there. And he came and I talked to him, and he kind of got me interested. And I've always kind of looked at the co-op just because from a farming background, we've always worked with them. And decided to try it out, and I'm really glad I did. So.
Well, good. We're glad to have you. So are you going to use like what you've learned at the co-op like back on the family farm, or do you have big visions for the future? Like what's the plan there?
So right now I'm still undecided exactly what I want to do. But pretty much everything I learned at the co-op, I try to bring back to the farm and help my dad out right now. Really what I am looking forward to is hopefully trying to find a job out of college. I don't know if I want to go back right away. So I guess my options are kind of open at this point.
Did you do an internship, Sam?
I did not.
I just went straight into it?
Yeah, I went straight into it.
Do you wish you did an internship?
I didn't really have time.
No.
So we had football workouts all summer, all the time.
Oh, yeah,
so I didn't really have time.
So obviously you guys raise corn and you raise soybeans, but you raise and sell shrimp. Like, how does that happen? Like, how does a row crop farmer say one day, you know what, I think I'm going to sell shrimp?
So I'm trying to think how to start this. So about 40 years ago, my grandpa put up a couple hog units, and he did that until about 7-10 years ago. And so we had these buildings sitting empty, just kind of rotting away. We need to do something with them. And my grandpa found an article in a farmer's magazine of a shrimp farm in Indiana that did the same thing. They converted their old hog units into a shrimp farm. And so I remember my dad brought home the magazine one day, and asked me if this is something we could do kind of together, because my grandpa didn't really want anything to do with it. He just wanted to do something with the building. So it was kind of my dad and I that kind of started thinking about it, and went out, took a tour of the shrimp farm out there.
So you bought into it like right away. You weren't like, Dad, you're crazy. You were like,
I mean, I thought it was interesting, and we didn't really make the decision until we went out and kind of talked to him and said, this is something we can actually try to do. And so we just kind of jumped in, and the people in Indiana kind of helped us get started, and after that, it's just
off to the races.
Yeah.
Diversifying your operation. That's how you do it right there.
I mean, that's because can you, like, what is like a growing and selling season look like for shrimp? Like, is there times of the year or?
So, I mean, we try to have shrimp ready the whole year. But of course, there's seasons where it's really busy, like the holidays. Winter seasons are really busy. So the way we stock our building was so right now we have 16 tanks, which are just swimming pools.
How big are the tanks?
We have 8, 14, 4, 16, and 4 18-foot so they kind of vary in sizes.
Okay.
So you're talking like you like go to Walmart, that kind of swimming pool?
Yeah, I
like,
bought the last 4 I bought from Target.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, no, and of course we modify them for aeration systems, stuff like that. But no, we try to have shrimp year round, and usually we try to stock heavy so we have them ready for the holidays, because that's, like I said, it's Christmas,
Your
New Year's
busiest
Eve are
time.
really busy, but we usually have shrimp available year round. So
Oh, so it's kind of like cattle or hogs or something. You always have cattle on feed or hogs on feed ready.
yeah,
Ready to go.
yeah.
Okay.
So we have I guess you can say waves or different stages throughout the building in each tank.
Yeah,
So-
I got you. That makes sense.
So you just keep the building temperature controlled, and so it's fine through the winter.
Yep. Yeah. So the building year round, we try to keep it no lower than 80 degrees or so in the building.
Oh wow.
So in the winter, I'll go down in shirt and shorts and do chores, which is nice. And in the summer, it gets a little hot, but
Yeah.
That's so, like, so you always have shrimp ready. Like, are you buying? I guess I don't know what you call a baby shrimp, but like, are you buying young shrimp and then, or is it just are they like a brood stock or
What's
like
the reproduction?
yeah, like
look
how
like?
does this how does this work?
so we don't reproduce them. That's a whole different area, and you have to have certain conditions and all that. So we buy them either from Texas or Florida. There's hatcheries out there that we get them from, and so we call them PLs, post larvae, when we get them. So they come in a couple weeks old, and I mean when we get them, we buy them, they ship them overnight, and I have to come to Lincoln right at 9 o'clock to get them and bring them home. And so when we get them, they come in 2 big bags. And in one box, 30,000 shrimp in one
Jeez.
box. And so when we get them, they're the size of an eyelash. So
Whoa.
they're really
Wow.
small. Yeah.
Have you ever accidentally dropped a bag?
No. Luckily not.
Oh wow,
not
no pressure
That'd be
there.
bad.
So is it like when a kid gets a goldfish and you have to like set the bag into the pool and
Yeah, it's actually what we
Climate.
do. Yeah. Yep. No, because what we do is we take that bag out,
see I could raise shrimp.
show it up, lift it up to light, make sure everything's alive and looks good, and then float it in the water to help the temperature or get the temperature adjusted, and then we release them in.
So can you like when you hold it up to the light, can you even see them? Or is it just like a bunch of wiggly?
It's kind of like they're translucent, so you can barely see them, and you can see their stomach, which is a little black speck. That's
So
really
you're
all you
looking
can
for
see
the
'em.
little black speck.
Yep.
So how many shrimp go in a pool or a place?
So I guess starting off, so we have 2 nursery tanks, which are rectangle tanks in the side of the building, which aren't that big, just for the babies, and they hold 15,000 shrimp each. And we thin them out to about 10,000 a tank, and then their final stage, we move them. So the small tanks, the 14-foot tanks, hold 3,500, and to the biggest 7,000. So
Okay.
that's what we stock them.
What does a shrimp eat?
I was gonna say, what do they feed on?
Yeah, so we feed them a little pellet. It's a soybean meal, fish meal, protein diet, antibiotic free. We get it specialized out of Pennsylvania because it has to be a specialized pellet. That way it doesn't dissolve right away in the water.
Okay.
So it's
You just sprinkle it on top and then they.
we just throw it in, and then it's kind of cool. We had a display tank for a while of them, and it just kind of, they have a whole bunch of feelers in front or legs, and they'll grab a whole bunch and
like
hold them in their mouth. They're really crazy when they eat. So
Wow.
So like when you go to the restaurant and there's jumbo shrimp and there's regular shrimp, is that like a different kind of shrimp, or like are there different species of shrimp?
yeah, I mean, because people always ask, because prawns are the really big shrimp you see. I guess we try to sell, so I guess what we sell is, we call it a 20 count shrimp, so about 18, 20 shrimp a pound is what we try to produce. I mean, they'll lay out in your hand,
Oh wow.
so that's that eyelash size all the way out to filling up a guy's hand. Because what we raise is a Pacific white shrimp, and they're known for being really sweet and really tender meat. They originate out of the Gulf of Mexico.
And then grown in Nebraska.
Grown in Nebraska. Yep.
So is your water regular water, or is it like not salt water? Or
Yeah, so we had to add salt
Yeah, you
when we
gotta-
started. Yep.
Okay.
So is it like hose water that you added salt to, or did you have to do like something?
Yeah, well water, and we had high iron content, and so we had to get an iron filter. But other than that, I think we have hard water, which is good for holding, because there's a lot of chemical. Well, I guess not chemical. I'm trying to think.
Just like water treatment and stuff?
Yeah, just with extra feed and waste the shrimp produce, there's a lot of ammonia produced and all that stuff, and the hard water kind of keeps the bacteria going and alive. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We want bacteria. That's a good thing for keeping those guys alive.
So like, how finicky are they? Like, if you lose power and like, is it like a mad dash to get down there and get like a generator going? Or
yeah, we have an old generator ready, but I know this summer we had a problem. The battery died on it. So if the building goes without power for an hour, that means no aeration in the tanks. Pretty much the whole building will die.
Oh wow!
Without
so
oxygen.
It's a big deal if things go down.
Yep. So we have a call alert set up to where it's calling everybody's cell phone after 5 minutes if there's no power, and then we'll rush down there and try to get the power back on.
So how long does it take to go from the eyelash size to the hand size? Like, what's your production cycle? How long does it take to finish them?
So when we get them in the building, when we're selling them, it takes about, depending on through the season, 4.5 to 5 months.
Okay.
So.
Well, that makes sense. So you're going to be gearing up for the holiday season right now.
Yep.
Yeah, that's when you guys get them in started. Yep. Okay.
So where do you sell to?
So starting off, it was kind of hard to get that marketing out and kind of get that customer base, because really the problem we had was people, a shrimp farm in Nebraska, we're going to check it out, and they never came back. Just kind of try it. But now we're getting returning customers that really enjoy the product. Just kind of finding that niche market. We had a restaurant lined up, Momo's Pizzeria here in Lincoln, with everything going on. I kind of fell through. I think hopefully we'll get back with him. I mean, I've been keeping in touch with him. He's a really good guy there. But really, we've had a lot of local people just come and buy shrimp. Yep. So we've been doing pretty good so far, actually.
Do you have it selling in any stores, or it's just all off farm? People come and pick it up? Or
right now, all retail, out the door. People come and pick it up.
Oh, wow.
Well, that's good.
A lot of people. Well, it helps during the summer. We have people come. They're going to the lake or something. They'll pick up a decent amount of shrimp and take them to the lake, stuff like that. Yep.
What is a bag of shrimp sell for?
So we sell by the pound, and a pound, like I said, we try to keep it between 18.20 to 22 shrimp a pound. That's $18.75 a pound. Then we do discounts. If you do buy 10 pounds or more, you take $1 off a pound. So
I guess I don't know what shrimp costs, so I don't know how comparable that is.
I mean,
but for fresh, locally grown shrimp, I mean, I'd pay that.
Yeah. I mean, you can buy cheaper shrimp at the stores. I mean, it's just like anything else. I mean, you can't. One thing that I always saw when I went to restaurants, talk to chefs, what they do is the first thing they do is they open the bag and they smell it. So they're smelling to see if they can smell seafood. If you smell seafood, it's not fresh. With these guys, you don't smell anything. It's kind of hard to get a product like that because these guys, they only last about 48 hours in that state. So it's kind of hard to get a fresh shrimp.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Well, I mean, and you got to make money on it, too. I mean, it's not like you can do it for nothing.
Do it for fun.
Yeah. So, well, it might be fun, but.
Yeah.
But I'd imagine you're probably pretty comparable, at least, to what it is at the store.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, what kind of, like, maintenance is involved? Like, do you have to drain the water out every now and then? Or is it you're up and running and just go with it?
Yeah, so like I mentioned before, the salt's not cheap. Like, get in there, and like I said before, the bacteria is really crucial for the survival of the shrimp. So we try to recycle most of our water. So what we do, if there's a few hundred shrimp left in a tank, or we think so, we'll drain the tank into a different tank or holding tanks, get the shrimp out, either harvest them for an order or move them down to the next wave, put the water right back in, and keep it cycling with a live tank to keep the bacteria alive, and then we'll move shrimp into there.
How do you get them out? Like, do you just walk in there with a big old net?
Yep, just nets, and then, we get the water down to where we can see them. Well, we have those ladders that came with those pools. We can get in and
climb in there,
muck boots, and then just get the rest of them out. Yeah.
So, how what's the balance here, like, between the row crop farming and the shrimping operation? Like, how are you managing both? Or I guess, how is your dad managing both?
Yeah. Right now it's kind of hard because with having my internship, I really can't help in the morning with chores. And that's the biggest thing is morning chores. And when we have nursery stock in the building, it takes a lot longer because you're moving water every day for those guys because there's so many shrimp in a small amount of water. This time of year, I guess right now it's not too bad because we're not irrigating. We're getting enough rain, luckily. I think probably the most hectic times are definitely during harvest. Yeah. When we're out in the field most of the time, we have to come in early or do chores late, stuff like that, and just feeding throughout the day. So it took some practice to get everything down, and we're still trying to figure things out and making things work. I usually try to, sometimes I'll feed on my way home from my internship when my dad's out in the field or something like that.
You'll swing through. Mm-hmm. Well, speaking of rain, interject real quick. We have gotten a lot of rain. If somebody wanted to apply fungicide, Sam, how much time do they have left to get that odor and get it on?
Well, it depends on the stage of your crop. You want your field to be at least 70% tasseled out and preferably huntered. You'll still get a good use out of it if you're trying to decide your threshold. If you have problems out there with some of your diseases. But I would say, we're flying heavy still right now. We got planes going out of Fairmont and Fairbury.
I was going to say, the last time I was in Fairbury, they had I think 3 planes going.
Yeah, they've had 3 to 4, and then sometimes there's a little few more at Fairmont. But, right now would be a good time to get your fungicide map in if you're thinking about doing that, and just come into your local agronomy branch and we can get you fixed up.
Get it done?
Yep. And fungicide.
Has your dad got his done already?
Yeah, we got flown ours on a couple of weeks ago, I think.
Well, and Dad flew his on last week, so.
Well, good.
Yeah.
So back to the shrimp. So if there's shrimp that you don't sell or you can't sell, can you keep it around? How do you handle that situation?
Or if it's gets too big and you know.
Well, yeah, is there because you said it was 5 months is where it takes to get them sell ready. So what if they don't sell? You just do they keep growing or?
Yeah, they can. Luckily, we haven't run into that problem yet. We've been selling what we need to.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, knock on wood. But I mean, there are some that I pull out that are wow, those are pretty big. But I mean, they have to be extremely big for them to start getting too tough, lose their sweetness. But yeah, no, right now we don't have to really worry about that. So.
Probably pull them and freeze them, I guess, if you had to.
Yeah, I guess because what we're working on is the survival rate, and so we do have some dead shrimp that we find every once in a while.
You gotta clean out of there.
Yeah, what is survival rate from those 30,000 you get to the end?
I mean, it depends. We've had some rough stocks earlier this year. We had some pretty low survival rates, and it's just a lot of water testing. We finally found out what's going on with the water. That's the biggest thing we're trying to learn is just getting the water stable.
Oh, exactly. Where it needs to be.
But that's just how it is. But right now things are going pretty well. High survival rates out of the nursery. But once we get them out of the nursery, they kind of keep themselves alive the rest of the time, which is kind of nice. So it's really those first couple weeks or month they're in that building, we're really watching them and making sure
everything's going right.
Mm-hmm.
So you're spending more time in the nursery than anything.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yep, there's a lot of time.
Is that the dangerous period, and once you get them out of that?
Mm-hmm. I mean, they're just so sensitive to anything. Like I said, that oxygen. I mean, temperature change, anything like that. We had in the January, we had a heater break, and that killed a lot of them off overnight. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
That makes sense. I mean, it's just like cattle or hogs too. I mean, your mortality rate, you're trying to keep your survival rate up, trying to keep things healthy. So
when you always hear people staying up all night with the new calf, make sure it's okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's just yours are a little grosser looking.
Yeah. A little weirder looking. Yeah.
So how often does your family eat shrimp? Or are you just tired of it?
So we get asked that a lot. I mean, we just don't really go harvest shrimp for ourselves, I guess. Whenever we fill an order and we have some extra, we'll take them home and we'll eat them. And at that point, we just kind of try different things. That way we can tell people.
So what is the best way to prepare shrimp? I mean, I got my preference, and literally the only way I will eat shrimp is breaded. I'm sorry. It might be. Yeah. But it's got to be breaded for me. Mm-hmm. But according to the pros, what is the best way to eat shrimp?
So bread is good, but the problem with that, you have to prepare it. It takes a lot more preparation. You got to shell it and everything. My favorite way, personally is just sauteing them in garlic and butter. It's really simple, and they soak up that flavor really well. I mean, the great way to describe it, like I said, it's a sweet tail. It's just kind of like a lobster. It has that same flavor to it. A really easy way is boiling. It takes less than a minute to boil them. I mean, as soon as you, like I said, they're translucent. Once you throw them in that boiling water, they instantly start turning white. That meat starts turning white. Another good way is my dad likes to do it is put them on a skewer and grill them.
I could get behind that.
So
what's do you like shrimp?
Yeah.
I was going to say, I mean, you came today, so hopefully you do.
No, yeah, I like the saute is really good. Just a plain saute and just flip it over, eat it. It's good in like a shrimp scampi, if you like pasta. It's good.
My wife, okay, so I lied. I do like it with pasta.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's the pasta or the breaded?
You don't have to do too much to it.
No.
To me, so they're still pretty good.
So do you have a lot of friends that are in not shrimp farming, but in farming in general?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, do a lot of them have like that side gig as well?
So I guess one of my high school friends, I'm living with him right now actually, Aaron Dink, he's out of Cortland. They have a custom business, D&D Custom, so they do anhydrous, stuff like that. Trying to think of what else.
Some people have, like cows, I guess, too, or
Yeah.
they'll start cows.
There's that turkey farm down by us too, by Odell.
Oh, that's right, yep.
Do you have
Shell's
the
put up.
weirdest side gig out of everybody you know?
I'd call it most unique.
Yeah, most unique.
I
apologize.
I guess so, yeah.
Not weirdest.
Just most unheard of, too.
Yeah.
So that's cool, though. So your grandpa just literally saw an article in a magazine, and that's kind of got started?
Yeah, I gave it to my dad and just to show him. And then my dad came home to me and was like, "Oh, I guess
said this is it.
Try it out, yeah. See how it goes."
What'd the family think? Like,
mixed feelings. Everybody was we were all kind of skeptical going on it. I mean, it was a new thing. It was a huge learning curve. I mean, we had a lot of mess ups, and I mean that's how you learn. So, I mean, it's just a lot of learning. We're still learning every day, which is good. But we're starting to get the hang of things now.
So how long have you had shrimp? Like, when did you guys first start getting the shrimp in?
So we've had shrimp, I think, a little over 3 years now.
A little over 3. Okay.
I think probably honestly the worst part was renovating that whole building.
Oh, getting ready.
That was
Oh yeah, that could not be fun.
That was not fun. We did it all summer, and I mean all those concrete slats we hauled out of the building and filling the pits up and pouring new concrete, all that.
And putting together all those swim pools.
Yep.
I mean, I have one swim pool, and I messed it up. I put it up twice this year, and I didn't do it right either time, and I just took it down the other day because I got tired of it being all wonky.
Yeah. No, we got pretty good at putting up swimming pools, that's for sure.
So when you said you got the last 4 at Target? When did you get those? Is that like an expansion, or was that back at the beginning, or?
Yeah, so we only used half the building with those first 8 tanks. Those 14 foot. So we only, I think, about for a year or so, and then after a year we started moving
getting better at it and getting bigger
tanks. So
any plans to slow down, or are you guys just gonna keep going?
So you have more room to go?
So we only use one building. The other buildings aren't wide enough for 2 tanks wide.
Okay.
But if we need to expand, what we'll do is replace the smaller tanks with those bigger tanks. Because, like I said, the 14 foots hold about 3,500, and then the 18s hold about 7,000. So we double the amount of shrimp and just
by
moving
putting
up a
different
little
tank.
bit. So, I mean, right now we're sitting pretty good. So we'll see what everything's going on. So
consistency's not bad. I was going to ask, like, when the shrimp are growing, are you ramping up their feed then? I mean, I kind of figured they'd probably eat more, but like, how much does like one of them, like, how much feed you have to put in like a 7,000 when they're getting close to finishing?
Yeah, so I'm trying to think of what we got at. So I guess with those little pellets, over 1,000 grams of feed a day, which is quite a bit. I don't know I'm trying to think of exactly how much goes in there, but I mean, compared to when they start to about when they're fully stocked before we start pulling out of them, we're giving a lot of feed to them. So we have to make sure we watch, because if we don't, you can't overfeed them, you can't underfeed them, because we underfeed them, they start to eat the bacteria. Everything starts going wonky. So I mean, it's just a.
So when they're eyelash size, is that the same food, or is it just smaller, or is it the?
Pretty much the same makeup of food. It's but yeah, smaller. So they start off on a liquid, and then different size pellets throughout, and we get them up to, I think it's a 2 millimeter pellet. It's a full size pellet.
Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of different sizes then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
With the corn and the soybeans, harvest is coming up, so I just want to give a quick shout out. I'm sure a lot of people know by now, but our NebraskaTire.com is still running strong. So before harvest, just give it a look, check it out. There's a lot of great deals on there. They ship everything generally within like a day, and they'll get it out to you quick. And they have almost anything you would need in stock, and if they don't, they can get it in like a day. So NebraskaTire.com, check it out with harvest coming up. It'll be worth it. Now, the shrimp operation, I guess this whole time, what is it called? I don't think we half an hour later, we haven't told anybody what it's actually called.
Rock Creek Aquaculture is our business.
So is that like open to the public, or is it closed doors? How's that work?
So you can visit our website at rockcreekshrimp.com. And our information's on there. Like I said, we row crop farm, so we're always around. Someone's always around.
Somebody's always doing something.
Leave us a message there, or give my dad a call. My dad's cell phone's on there. But we have a set store hour, Sundays from 1 to 3, and someone's always down there. You can always call ahead for a tour if you want to pick up some shrimp. This coming weekend, actually, August 1st and 2nd. August 1st, we have an open house from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., and then August 2nd, noon to 4 p.m. And what we're doing is just having an open house. We're having tours, and we're going to be fixing, I think we're trying about a dozen different recipes. I don't think we're going to try all of them, but we're going to have them available.
Oh, so people can come and just try the shrimp.
Yep. So we'll be trying different recipes, just kind of giving people ideas, and that way people can actually try them before buying them. So, yeah, everybody's welcome to come out. Like I said, August 1st, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., and August 2nd, noon to 4 p.m. So,
well, perfect. And so they can learn more about you on Facebook. Just look up Rock Creek Aquaculture. Mm-hmm. And then what was the website again?
rockcreekshrimp.com.
Oh, easy enough.
You're down by Odell.
Yep. Or we are 3 miles west of Diller, pretty much.
3 miles west of Diller.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, I appreciate you coming in, Reid, and Sam. It's always good to have you. And thank you, everybody, for listening. Make sure you give us a like, subscribe, comment. Let us know what you think. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter. We're on Instagram. You can check out our website at myfarmerscoop.com. And as always, keep growing.